I never imagined that the moment meant to celebrate our love would end up shattering everything I believed in. While my wife was away on a business trip to Chicago, I thought I was preparing a surprise that would bring us closer than ever. Instead, what unfolded when she returned exposed a betrayal so deep it left scars I still carry today. What was supposed to be the happiest moment of my life became the cruelest twist of fate. And in that instant, I realized that sometimes the people you trust the most are the ones holding the sharpest knives. Life had been moving in steady rhythms, the kind that lull you into believing stability is permanent. I worked a predictable job in accounting, came home to a modest but comfortable house, and shared quiet evenings with my wife, Emily. On the surface, we were like any other couple, two people navigating the ordinary routines of marriage. But beneath the calm surface were undercurrents I never fully acknowledged. Emily was ambitious, far more than I was. She thrived on challenges, often traveling for work, while I stayed behind to keep things grounded. When she told me about her upcoming business trip to Chicago, it didn't surprise me. Business trips had become part of her rhythm, something I accepted as the price of her ambition. She was set to be away for 10 days, and though I missed her during these stretches, I trusted her completely. It was during her absence that I decided to prepare something special for her return. For years, Emily had dreamed about transforming our guest room into a cozy creative studio, a space for painting, writing, or simply escaping from the demands of daily life. She often mentioned it wistfully, but between work and expenses, the project never took off. I thought, why not now? Why not give her this gift as a reminder that I supported her dreams just as much as she supported mine? I began sketching plans, researching designs late into the night. Friends offered to help, and together we painted walls, replaced old furniture, and brought the room to life with warm lighting and subtle touches of personality. Every stroke of paint felt like a declaration of love, each detail an affirmation of my commitment to her happiness. The work was exhausting, but my heart swelled with anticipation. I pictured Emily's face when she walked in and saw what I had created. I imagined her hugging me, thanking me, and maybe even shedding tears of joy. That vision fueled me through every tired evening and every frustrating misstep in the project. Yet even as I poured myself into this surprise, something gnawed at me. Emily called less frequently than usual. When she did, the conversations felt rushed, perfunctory. She sounded distracted, offering vague explanations about long meetings or tight deadlines. I brushed it off as stress. After all, Chicago was a high-stakes assignment. Still, a faint unease lingered in the corners of my mind. One evening, I noticed her laptop buzzing with a message before she left. It was from someone I didn't recognize. The preview on the screen read only, "Can't wait until you're back. Counting the days." I wanted to believe it was a colleague, maybe a harmless friend. I told myself not to pry, that trust meant giving her the benefit of the doubt. So, I focused on the surprise, convincing myself it was the most important thing. The days passed quickly, and the room was finally ready. Bright, beautiful, and filled with love. I couldn't wait to reveal it. Emily's return day arrived, and I prepared the house with quiet excitement. Candles flickered in the living room, soft music played, and I rehearsed the moment in my mind. Her flight landed in the evening, and she walked through the door looking radiant yet strangely tired. I kissed her, held her close, and told her I had something special to show her. She smiled faintly but seemed distracted, her phone buzzing in her hand as though tethered to some unseen thread. I brushed it aside and guided her upstairs. When she stepped into the studio, her eyes widened. She covered her mouth, tears shimmering in her eyes. For a fleeting moment, I thought I had succeeded. But then, just as quickly, the tears shifted into something else. Something heavier, more complicated than gratitude. I didn't understand. She hugged me, whispered thank you, but her embrace lacked warmth. Felt like a performance. My chest tightened with confusion. That night, while she showered, her phone buzzed again. Against my better judgment, I glanced. The message was unmistakable. "I missed you more than words. Tonight felt endless without you." My stomach twisted. The sender's name was David, her boss. Suddenly, everything made sense. The distant calls, the vague excuses, the strange tears in the studio. The betrayal was no longer suspicion, it was reality. And it wasn't just an affair. It was with someone I trusted professionally, someone who had power over her career and, apparently, her heart. I lay awake all night, staring at the ceiling, the weight of my discovery crushing me. Every memory of her smiles, her promises, her touches now felt poisoned. Still, I said nothing. I wanted to see if she would confess, if she would give me the truth without my forcing it. The next day, as I prepared breakfast, she announced casually that David had invited us both to a small gathering to celebrate the project's success. My pulse quickened, dread clawing at me. A celebration with the man who had stolen her loyalty? The thought was unbearable, yet I agreed. I needed to see it with my own eyes. The gathering was held at David's home, a spacious, modern house filled with colleagues and laughter. I tried to blend in, to smile through the storm brewing inside me. But my eyes never left Emily and David. I studied every glance, every subtle gesture. And then it happened. In the middle of the room, while surrounded by laughter and noise, David leaned close. Emily turned toward him, and before I could process it, she kissed him. Not a fleeting, accidental brush of lips, but a kiss that spoke of intimacy, of promises shared in secret. And she did it in front of me. The world seemed to collapse inward. Conversations blurred, the laughter drowned out by the pounding of my heart. My hands shook, my throat closed, and the room spun. Betrayal, raw and undeniable, played out in the open. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, to shatter every fragile mask they had constructed. But instead, I stood frozen, paralyzed by the weight of disbelief. Emily's eyes flickered toward me briefly, widening in shock when she realized I had seen. David's smirk didn't falter. He knew. He didn't care. The studio, the surprise, the years of trust. All of it felt like ash in my hands. I walked out of the house without a word, each step heavier than the last. That night, I sat in the half-lit studio I had built for her. The walls, once glowing with hope, now pressed in on me like a cruel joke. Every brushstroke, every detail, had been painted with love that she had already given to someone else. Emily returned home later, her excuses trembling and hollow. But nothing she said could mend what I had witnessed. Trust, once broken, cannot be glued back together. It shatters into pieces too sharp to hold without bleeding. I realized then that betrayal doesn't just come from the act itself. It comes from the silence, the lies, the way someone can look into your eyes and still choose to deceive you. And sometimes, the cruelest betrayals are the ones delivered without shame, in full view of the world. The surprise I had prepared was no longer a gift of love but a monument to my blindness. Yet in that pain I found clarity. I walked away from the marriage, from the man who had stolen more than a career opportunity, and from the illusion that loyalty was guaranteed. Betrayal taught me a truth I'll never forget. Love is not measured by grand gestures, but by quiet integrity when no one is watching. And so I ask you, if the person you trusted most revealed their true colors in front of the world, would you find the strength to walk away, or would you still try to hold on to what was already broken?